The expectations are escalating with every trip, and surpassing those expectations is a challenge that must keep us all on our toes at all times. Jamaica's new tourism then, as I have defined, is geared to sharpening our competitive edge. Since taking office last autumn, I have guided our activity to grow Jamaica's tourism industry with a focus on marketing, product development, and investments. I'm proud to say now that the results are coming to the fore in terms of product development and investment. And we can see some of them clearly visible, not all of my doing, of course, most of which we had inherited in their early stages or in their mature stages of development, but we've done our completed job, as the finish is important, so we make sure that we finish. So what we have had is spectacular expansion and renovation of the 2 international airports. Very important to us. We have had dramatic additions to our cruise ship ports. We've improved highways that facilitate and expedite travel around Jamaica. There's tremendous growth in the accommodation sector with new and expanded hotels, adding a total of 30,000 rooms by the end of this year, and in a diverse range of lodging choices. We've seen a wide range of exciting new and updated attractions that are educational and environmentally protective, as well as full of fun for all ages. We've seen investments by the private sector, with substantial investments, in fact, coming from overseas, especially from Spain. And I could name the groups that is very well known to you all: the Rio Group, the Iberia Star, the Pinero Group, the Fiesta Group, the Group of Excellence, and now a new group that is starting in Montego Bay called Hospiten, that is dealing with health tourism, building a 60-bed hospital with facilities for Ocherias, Negril, and hopefully Port Antonio in the end. With such enhancements to our tourism product, our marketing campaign must be right on the money. You've all heard my theories that the importance of putting heads to beds and more feet to the streets of the country. And now that you know about the baby boomers, to convert the boomers into zoomers. So there's a whole plan for driving a marketing strategy that will speak to not only the niches that we mentioned in terms of interest, but in terms of the generational grouping within our market. In our market initiatives, we have expanded our horizon with a focus on growing our primary markets, that is the USA, Canada, and the UK, developing growth markets such as continental Europe, the Caribbean, and Latin America, attracting arrivals from new and emerging markets, including Eastern Europe, the Middle East, Japan, and of course the BRIC countries that are Brazil, Russia, India, and China. And I want to point out that in creating the structures in the ministry for fitness for purpose, we have established a new department for the purpose of driving the emerging markets. And the Deputy Director of Tourism has that responsibility to drive the emerging markets of Asia, the BRIC countries, as I mentioned, and also the wider South America and Latin America market. We've ensured targeting PR campaigns, online advertising, and the enhancement of the Visit Jamaica website. We've just spent $350,000 on refurbishing that website and to make it capable of not only providing opportunities for visiting Jamaica, but to have virtual exposure as well, so that you can walk through a room later on. You'll be able to walk through a room in a hotel in Jamaica. And agriculture, manufacturing, technology, entertainment, transportation, and gaming. And you're perhaps wondering why I'm not talking too much about gaming. It's only because the the work is not yet done. In another 3 weeks or so, I will have a lot to say about gaming, because by then the work would have been done. One highly targeted campaign, of course, is the Drive for 5. I mentioned it earlier on, to have 5 million stopover and 5 billion earnings, and eventually 7.5 billion overall. And to boost our daily average spent from $85 which it was in 2007, to $150 by 2012. To further strengthen the linkages with the other sectors, as I indicated before, to make tourism an export sector, and to put us into a position where the leakages from the tourism dollar begins to be blocked. To put a wedge in that process of leakage, because right now I think, and this is arguable by the technicians who do the work, some have different views on whether or not we have 50% retention, or we have 60% retention, or even as low as 45% retention. One of the reasons I am pushing for the TSA to be done for Jamaica is to really be able to measure the impact of the industry and to determine where we are in terms of the contribution of tourism to the economy of the country. And so we'll be better able to tell the world what level of retention of the dollar we really have once that technical work is done. But most importantly, the drive is to strengthen the quality of the workers within the industry. And a training program involving the establishment of a hotel, a school, which will be focusing on a certain layer of need within the industry, primarily those of the sous chef level, of the supervisors, middle managers, up to top management. We're well served with heart at the lower end, but we are very weak at the middle and the top end. It is true that the University of the West Indies fill a gap, so does NCU and UTech. But what we want a little more of is the hands-on training. We want to create a cadre of workers that move straight from the school into the workplace, functionally equipped and able to take senior management positions.